The world of professional tennis is a battlefield of power, speed, and mental fortitude. Every match, every point, every swing of the racket can change a player's destiny. For Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation, her historic Wimbledon run had already captured the hearts of millions. She had beaten the legendary Serena Williams. She had dethroned the defending champion Iga Swiatek. She had reached the fourth round, becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to achieve such a feat. She had surged to a career-high ranking of world number 28. She had become a national hero, a symbol of hope, and an inspiration to millions. But then, she did something even more incredible. At the DC Open, she stunned Olympic champion Qin Wenjuan with an insane comeback. The Eala mania had begun. And now, she faced her next challenge, Leylah Fernandez, the 2021 US Open finalist, a player who had beaten some of the best in the world and who was determined to stop Eala's momentum. The match was supposed to be a test of Eala's readiness for the top tier of the sport. What happened next was nothing short of unbelievable. Eala stunned Leylah Fernandez in straight sets, 6-2, 7-61, to advance to the quarterfinals. The tennis world was left in awe. The Washington crowd and Filipino fans couldn't believe what they had witnessed. This is the story of how Eala produced the biggest win of her career and sent shockwaves through the tennis world. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Before we dive into the match, we must first understand the incredible momentum that Eala carried into the DC Open. Her historic Wimbledon run had already established her as a player to watch. She had beaten the legendary Serena Williams, dethroned the defending champion Iga Swiatek, and reached the fourth round, becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to achieve such a feat. That run had propelled her to a career-high ranking of world no. 28, but she was not done. She had carried that momentum into the hardcourt season, and her first-round match at the DC Open was a statement. She had stunned Olympic champion Qin Wenjuan in an incredible comeback, winning 4-6, 6-4, 6-1. That victory had ignited the Eala mania, a phenomenon that was sweeping the tournament and the tennis world. The victory over Zhang was a testament to Eala's mental toughness and her ability to adapt her game under pressure. She had started the match poorly, losing the first set, but she had refused to give up. She had adjusted her tactics, taken the ball earlier, and used her left-handed serve to create angles. The victory had given her a massive boost of confidence and had made the tennis world take notice. The Eala mania was real, and it was growing with every match. The fans were desperate to see more, and the demand for tickets had skyrocketed. The stage was set for her second-round match against Leylah Fernandez, a player who had been a US Open finalist and who had the game to beat anyone on her day. The tennis world was watching to see if Eala could continue her dream run. The answer, when it came, was a resounding yes. Leylah Fernandez was not just any opponent. The 23-year-old Canadian was a former US Open finalist, a player who had captured the hearts of tennis fans around the world with her incredible run in 2021. She was known for her fighting spirit, her ability to defend relentlessly, and her powerful left-handed ground strokes. She had beaten some of the best players in the world, including Naomi Osaka, Angelique Kerber, and Aryna Sabalenka. She was a player who was comfortable on the big stage and who thrived on the pressure of a high-stakes match. The match was a classic clash between Eala's red-hot form and Fernandez's proven experience. The tennis world was watching to see if Eala could continue her dream run or if Fernandez would be the one to end it. Fernandez had been drawn in the same quarter of the draw as Eala. She had received a first-round bye and had not played in the tournament yet. That was both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, she was fresh and rested. On the other hand, she might have been a bit rusty, having not played a competitive match in over a week. But Fernandez was a player who was always ready for a challenge. She was a fierce competitor, a player who would fight for every point and who would never give up. She had a powerful serve and a devastating forehand, and she was capable of hitting winners from any position on the court. Eala knew that she would need to be at her best to overcome Fernandez. The match was a test of her tactical intelligence and her ability to adapt to different playing styles. The Fernandez match was also a chance for Eala to prove that she was not just a flash in the pan. She had already beaten some of the best players in the world, but Fernandez was a different kind of challenge. She was a player who was comfortable on the big stage and who had the experience of playing in Grand Slam finals. Eala knew that she would need to stay aggressive and not let Fernandez dictate the pace of the match. She would need to hit deep, move Fernandez around the court, and take advantage of any short balls. The match was a test of her mental fortitude and her ability to stay focused under pressure. The tennis world was eager to see how Eala would handle the challenge. The first set was a masterclass from Eala. She came out firing on all cylinders, dominating the match from the very first point. Her ground strokes were devastating, her movement was exceptional, and her mental fortitude was unshakable. She broke Fernandez's serve in the very first game, and the crowd erupted. The energy in the stadium was electric, with Filipino fans waving their flags and chanting her name. Eala was playing with a confidence that was infectious. She was not just winning points, she was dismantling Fernandez's game. Fernandez, who was known for her fighting spirit, looked shell-shocked. She had never been dominated like this before. Eala's aggressive baseline game was too much for her to handle. Eala continued to dominate throughout the set, winning 6-2 in just 35 minutes. The set was a statement. It was a declaration that Eala was not just a rising star, she was a legitimate contender. The Filipino fans were in a state of euphoria. The Washington crowd was in awe. The tennis world was stunned. Eala had taken down a former US Open finalist with the kind of ease that is usually reserved for the top players in the world. The set was a testament to her incredible talent, her hard work, and her unwavering belief in herself. Eala had shown that she was ready for the big stage and that she was not afraid of anyone. The question now was whether she could maintain that level of performance in the second set. The second set was a completely different story. Fernandez, a player known for her fighting spirit, refused to give up. She started the set with a new level of intensity, breaking Eala's serve early and taking a commanding 5-1 lead. The momentum had shifted. The crowd, which had been cheering for Eala, was now silent. Eala looked tired and frustrated. She was making unforced errors, her serve had lost its venom, and Fernandez was dictating the rallies. It looked like the match was going to a third set. But then, something incredible happened. Eala, who had been on the brink of defeat, staged an extraordinary comeback. She won 4 games in a row, breaking Fernandez's serve twice to level the set at 5-5. The crowd, which had been silent, erupted. The Eala mania was back. The comeback was a testament to Eala's mental fortitude and her ability to handle pressure. She refused to give up, even when the odds were against her. She adjusted her tactics, taking the ball earlier and hitting deeper. She started using her left-handed serve to create angles and move Fernandez off the court. The momentum shifted, and Eala's confidence grew with every point. The set went to a tiebreaker, and Eala dominated. She won the tiebreaker 7-1, sealing the match and advancing to the quarterfinals. The victory was a statement. It was a declaration that Eala was a player who could win even when she was not at her best. The comeback was one of the most incredible moments of the tournament, a testament to Eala's fighting spirit and her unwavering belief in herself. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The victory over Fernandez was more than just a win, it was a qualification for the quarterfinals. Eala had now won 2 matches against top-tier opponents, proving that she belonged among the best players in the world. The quarterfinal qualification was a milestone in her career, a sign that she was ready to compete for the biggest titles. The victory also had significant implications for her ranking and her US Open campaign. With few points to defend on hard courts, Eala had a golden opportunity to continue climbing the rankings and to secure a seeded spot at the US Open. The quarterfinal qualification was a testament to her hard work, her dedication, and her unwavering belief in herself. The celebration after the match was unforgettable. The Washington crowd and Filipino fans were in a state of euphoria. They had witnessed something truly special. A young woman from the Philippines, a player who had left her home at 13 to chase a dream, was now competing with the best players in the world and winning. The fans waved their flags, chanted her name, and celebrated her victory with a passion that was unmatched. Eala, who was visibly moved by the support, thanked the crowd and dedicated the win to her fans and her family. The moment was a testament to the power of sport to inspire, to unite, and to make a difference. Eala's dream run at the DC Open had become a reality, and the tennis world was watching. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell.